Hey, hello, hello, hello. I am Erin. This is the Superfun Local Show. Real quick before I get started, I'm going to say that last track was from me. That is Exhale by For the City. They will be playing in Carbondale on Sunday, but they will also be playing on Thursday or Wednesday with Trapped at the Old Rock House. And then Friday, they have their super awesome CD release show. I am so stoked for this. Anyway, moving forward, I am here again, Superfun Local Show, with
Michael Tomko.
Michael Tomko. So I have seen your name around and around and around for ages, it feels like. And we've actually never met until today.
I know.
So I think I've actually seen you in public too, because your face looks familiar.
Possibly. I have a brother who looks a lot like me too. There was a weird period where people thought he was me and I was him, but yeah.
Well, is what it is. So yeah, well, we were chit chatting before the show started, kind of trying to figure out you, since again I've never met you. A lot of times when I'll have interviews or bands in or whatever, that I've met them before.
Sure.
So you're a noob to me. So we were kind of talking about you and who you are, how you got started, and we're gonna go into this awesome event you got coming up at some point here. But before that, why don't you give me the rundown of Mike Tomko?
My elevator pitch.
Sure.
Well, yeah. I've been in and around the music scene here. For probably close to 20 years now. I have a degree in audio engineering from Webster and ran their radio station there for about 4 years, which was a great experience. I've tried to kind of hold every job in the industry at some point: journalism, radio, recording, being in a band, and all that. After college, I went down to New Orleans, worked in some studios down there, got chased out by Katrina, came back, and immediately hit the road for the next few years with my band Gentleman Auction House at the time. And we sort of lived that classic story of, label deal and over 100 shows a year and really nothing to show for it. And,
Right.
But it was a good time, and I certainly learned a lot. And during that time, we opened the Bluebird Club downtown.
Which is now called the Firebird for
now
anybody
called the
that's not
Firebird,
been around
yeah.
forever.
Yeah. So, have just kind of been around. And at one point, promoting shows was a way for my band to get contacts on the road and, doing favors for people here. And that kind of grew into a short career, I guess, for me, doing that full time. And like we were saying, in 2008, I think I booked around 385 shows that year alone. And
Which is insane for anybody that doesn't know or has never promoted or booked. That is
it's a lot of
insanity.
shows. It's an insane
I cannot
amount of shows.
imagine.
Yeah. So, the reason I'm here today in Undercover Weekend was something that was kind of born out of that time. And, after traveling the country and seeing what other people did in other cities and what worked in different places. And, and it's hard to compare St. Louis to, cities like Chicago. And it's hard to compare us to cities like maybe like a Champaign-Urbana where, that's a small, tight-knit college town. We're kind of in this strange little middle ground. Our city, there's a lot of distance between people in our city, physical distance. So, you kind of have to learn to navigate that. And so came up with this idea that was, local bands would take on the persona of a famous band for one night. And we'd somehow use this as a gateway drug, so to speak, for people in the audience to get turned on to a new band. And, I hoped we'd do it one time and that people would have a good experience. And that first year at Off-Broadway, the bar completely sold out of alcohol. And,
Wow.
we were nearly sold out both nights. And even Becky, Queen of Carpets, was there, which is a whole other story.
That's the way back right there. I remember those
yeah.
commercials when I was a kid.
I know. Well, it was funny as a joke, and one of the interesting byproducts of the first year of this show was that we actually got all 10 bands together as for team meetings beforehand. And a lot of these bands wouldn't have necessarily played shows together otherwise. So it was like this really kind of unique opportunity to not only play a show, but to kind of be on the same team.
Network.
And so one of our jokes originally was that we were all going to donate our portion of the show to hiring Becky, Queen of Carpets, to host. Why that was a joke that we took rather far, I don't know. But we eventually abandoned it, and somehow she came anyway. And she just stood by the bar and watched the show very quietly the whole time. But that's kind of brings us to the first year. I would say, you know, we tried to. Like I was telling you before, I've kind of tried to quit doing this show every year. It's an awful lot of work, and
Oh, I mean, it's 3 days. And how many bands do you have on each day, roundabouts? Is it
5.
5?
I mean, we've done as many as 20 in a year, 4 nights and 20 bands in year 2, and we've done a number of these 3 nights. We've done some 2 nights, you know. The thing is, for me, I mean, we get over 40 submissions a year to play this, and with only 10 to 15 spots, like I end up sending like, you know, 20 to 30 rejections, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to reject anyone. I wish I could, you know, do this 20 nights and let everyone play.
Right.
It's not about that. You know, but every year, you know, by the first day after the event's over, I mean, I get emails from people who are like, this is what I want to do. People run into me and say that, you know, hey, I really want to do this, this band next year. And how do I not agree to do it again at that point, you know,
right.
when it seems like something people want to do. So yeah, so it's been an exciting journey. You know, like I said, this is year 11, which also at being in my mid 30s, like this is a third of my life involved in this show, which is a wild thing to examine.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, that's quite an accomplishment though too. You should be really proud of yourself. If you're not, you know, I don't know how you do that and stuff, but like that's impressive. And it seems like, you know, even though you say you try to quit every year, I'm watching your face as you're talking about it, and it's no, you don't.
No.
Like, yeah, you're just grinning from ear to ear thinking about it. So, yeah, like it's super cool and exciting. I think we're gonna break, but I do have to ask. The first artist we were going to feature, the way we're doing on our breaks, is that we're playing back-to-back tracks for one of the artists, and then the one song from who they're tribute to.
Sure.
For some reason, the first artist did not load on my jump drive, so I'm wondering, can I play directly from YouTube, Pat? Is there any way that...
have to rewire stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to have to apologize to Paige Alyssa.
Oh man,
I know. I'm really bummed because I listened to the song earlier and it was so good.
she is amazing.
I know. And I looked in the system to see if we had what she had, and it just wasn't working out.
No.
If you have the time to do it, or if you want
I'll
to...
work on it during set.
Yeah, so I'm going to start off with who she's covering. We're going to try and figure this out. If it doesn't work, whatever. We can probably maybe play it off my phone. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But starting off, she's amazing, and she's going to be doing
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson set. So we're going to start this off right now with a Janet Jackson song. It was your choice, your pick. What any reason you picked this particular song?
It's been playing in my head. See, when I write the posts announcing who all these bands are going to be, I end up listening to a lot of the tribute that they're doing,
Right.
and some of these just kind of stick around.
See, my personal favorites are Every Time. It's a great song.
Yeah.
And then Scream, the duet she did with Michael.
sure,
I remember when I was in like 5th or 6th grade, I used to dance. Like I used to do, and we did a jazz routine to Scream, and I'll always remember that. It was the coolest thing ever.
I
Well,
will
for a
say
6th grader.
Janet is one of the artists I've always wanted us to do for this show.
She's
She's one of my favorite artists of all
super
time,
exciting.
and yeah,
So,
she's hired a choreographer, and like there's
Wow.
headset, microphone, dancing.
Like so,
it's
she's
legit.
all in.
It is all in.
And this is gonna be night 1,
This is night 1. This is August 24th. At
August
Del Mar Hall.
24th. So this is next Thursday.
Yes.
Next Thursday. All right, we're going to start off with this Janet Jackson song. We're going to try and get you up and running, Paige Alyssa. Super fun local show on UMSL Radio. I am Erin. Yep.